Hey everyone, Shane here with etrailer.com. Today I'm going to walk through how to install the Progressive Dynamics converter. Now if you're looking for a replacement converter, Progressive Dynamics is very well known in the camping world. If you're looking for options for lithium batteries, or maybe you're one to stay with the options for lead acid, or maybe you're looking for one that does all of them, or gives you an option for all of them. We have different ones here at eTrailer. This one here is designed to be used with lithium ion or lead acid. Behind this panel, right up here in this corner, is the switch. So if you do, or if you are planning on switching over to lithium ion, you just want to make sure you switch that when you do. This is going to be all of our 12-volt accessories here. It's going to give you 12 spots. Each one is going to have an LED light indicator, so if you blow a fuse, that LED light will show. This is going to be all your higher output, like your 120 or 30 amp circuits, microwave, air conditioner, anything that needs to be hooked to a breaker. It gives you 7 different locations. This is one, and each one of these is one. And then, of course, we don't have the other one here, but there's going to be 2 more spots on that end. Now, as far as my personal opinion on this converter, if you're looking to upgrade your converter, Progressive Dynamics is probably the way you should go. As I mentioned before, they're a well-known product. They've been around for a long time. They hold up really well, and you're pretty much going to see the Progressive Dynamics converters in just about every camper out there nowadays. So as far as the installation goes, it's not difficult, but it is time-consuming. All these wires over here, which is your main power wires that are all going to your breakers, your higher amperage wires, they're all solid, so they're kind of a pain to deal with. This is going to be your negative bus bar. The one back behind it is going to be for the neutral, which is your green wires or your copper. And then all your black wires from your main powers are going into your breakers. You look on the bottom here, it'll say it. It'll say lower is going to be for your ground, top is going to be for your neutral, and that's for your grounds. This here is going to be for all your 12-volt power. You got your battery power in, battery negative. All these wires right here, you're going to have 12 wires. I'll show you later on. They run through the back, but you can't tell which wire goes to what because you can't move them. They're so tight in the grommet. So I'm going to show you later on how to test to determine what wire is what. You can mark what number it is on the back side, so when you go to hook up all your 12-volt accessories, you'll be able to match it to what you're going to mark on your lid. It actually could be much smaller than the one you have. This was our original one here, much bigger. So I'll mention again later on that I had to make the panel for it so it would fit in the same spot. But once you get everything connected, this will just slide right in place. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk through how to get it installed. To start your installation, remove the cover on your old unit. This is our new unit. You can obviously see that it's much smaller than this one. They are the same amperage. However, the size isn't always going to be the same. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to remove this, and then we're going to have to make a panel to cover this with a hole that will fit this. Got all the power shut off, so make sure you do all that. I got all my breakers shut off, all my 12-volt power, my batteries are unhooked. Slide this out where we can see all of our wires coming in here. So I'll start with my large white wire here in this corner. I popped this little plastic thing off to make it a little bit easier to handle the wires inside. I will come inside this screw right here. We'll release that wire. This is the ground. I'll put this off to the side here, and then we'll move on to the next ones. If you want to try to keep track of how everything is, it may hook up just a little different inside the new one. You may want to take a couple pictures of how this is wired in here, what's going to your breakers, your power coming in, and ground wires, and where all they're hooked up. On your old panel, it has everything listed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out each one of these wires, take a piece of painter's tape, and write what each wire is. So when I go to put it in the new unit, I have it marked, and I'm confident when I get it hooked up. I've got all the wires disconnected from our panel here, our fuse panel, that's all the 12 volt power source. I'm going to go ahead and pull these fuses out because we're probably going to reuse them in the new one. And then we're going to move over to all the 120 volt, your power coming from your air conditioner, and anything like that over on this side. Now that we've got everything unhooked, we can go ahead and set this aside. We'll start making our panel for our new one to be installed. All I did was took a piece of plywood. It's really up to you how big or small you make it, as long as you can get it mounted to the original spot that it was. You can see I've got my hole cut out for my new converter. I got my mounting holes into the original spot, so I don't have to make new holes in the cabinets. We'll go ahead and get this backboard mounted. Now that we've got our new panel in place, we can go ahead and start wiring everything back up to the new converter. So before we start wiring it, I just wanted to explain it because there's a lot of wires here, and if I show you how to wire each one, you may not have all the accessories that this neighbor has on theirs. The most important thing to keep in mind is this is going to be your battery in, positive, battery negative, whether it's from a disconnect switch or from the battery. All of this is going to be your 12 volt power. You can see all the wires, they're going out the back. All of this area right here is going to be your AC power. So you want to make sure you keep those separated. AC power over here, DC power here. So I got out with an issue when trying to track down my 12 volt wires to where my fuses run. On the back here, they put a connector in there to keep them from moving, so you can't move the wire up here on the panel to figure out which one it is out there. So what you do is a reverse polarity test. For instance, if you notice my top two ones are red, those are going to be for higher voltage accessories. We'll test number one. The panel's numbered with the wires. So what I did is I had a buddy with some tape. And what you do is you grab one of the wires, put your tester on reverse polarity, and all you're going to do is you're going to touch each post until you hear it beep. When you hear it beep, have them write down that number, put the number with the piece of tape onto that wire. That way when you go to connect all of your 12 volt DC power to these wires, you'll be able to mark them on the panel itself, what's what. So, to make my first DC connection, it doesn't matter the order you put them in. This is my bathroom fan, which this was the old unit. So a bathroom fan, I'm going to hook it to number 10. So it'll be the 10th one down on my fuse panel. And I'm just going to use wire nuts. Go ahead and connect those. Like that. And then for number 10 on there, we'll take our panel, front panel or lid, and we don't necessarily have to do this now because we have it marked on the wires ourselves. But on number 10, You just write whatever you decide to connect to that cable or that wire. Then you're just going to repeat that process for the remaining wires that you have left. Again, keep in mind the 2 red ones that are on the top are for higher amperage accessory or unit that you may have in your camper. So I've got my 12-volt wires, or my 12 volts hooked up with my fuses. Got my AC, how I had them marked. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll test out our 12-volt power. Get the battery hooked back up. Turn on your disconnect if you have one. We know our monitor light here, it's blinking, so we know that's working. We'll turn on some lights. So our range hood light works. That light works. You know those are working. We'll just go through and we'll start checking all of our 12-volt accessories. Our fan in our bathroom. That's working. Light here over our sink. Light here in the bedroom. Switch works there. This is for our outside light. I know that one's working. Our slide. We know that's working. So seems to be all of our 12-volt power is working correctly. This is our tank monitor, gray, black, fresh. Battery power. I think we're good. Now what we need to do is check our AC power. So now we're connected to shore power. Our microwave's on, which has to go to a breaker because it's high output. Fridge works. AC. AC kicked on. It's pretty much all I can see that I need to check as far as anything going to my breakers. I know my 12 volt or my panel is working for my 12 volt because again this little light for this monitor, it's going to be hard to see here. This little light for this center here, you can barely see it blinking. Now that you know everything is hooked up correctly, we can go ahead and get our wires tucked underneath, get our converter put in place onto our new board, get it mounted. Once you get this put in place, right up here in this corner, before you put your cover on, there's a little switch. One way is for lithium ion batteries, and the other one is going to be for lead acid. We are going to be changing over to lithium. So we're going to take this little switch and push it to the back. Get our cover put in place after we switch that over. That's going to do it for a look at an installation of the Progressive Dynamics converter